Hello, it's great to see you this afternoon and to talk about apprenticeships here at Queen Mary. Would you like to introduce yourself first?
I'm Ellie and I work in estates and facilities. I'm starting my apprenticeship in hospitality supervisor and I live and was born in East London.
Great, Ellie, thank you.
My name is Jotham. I'm an apprentice lab technician at the School of Physics and Astronomy. I'm studying an applied chemistry degree alongside working for them, and I'm a West Londoner working in East London.
Great, thank you, Jotham.
I'm Dev. I'm an apprentice business analyst working in the IT department. I'm also from East London.
Great, good to see you. And apparently you told me something earlier about who you support?
Yes, slightly ashamed at points, but I am letting on that.
And my name's Colin, of course, and I support Arsenal. We'll have a conversation about later. But first, let's talk about apprenticeships, because two of you are already on an apprenticeship, and Ellie, you're going to start an apprenticeship pretty soon. But Dev, I'll go to you first. What sort of attracted you to doing an apprenticeship?
I think it was the mix between learning and working. I tried out the route that most people go through of trying university. Did it for 2 years and it really didn't work out for me.
It wasn't for you?
Yeah, I didn't suit the course or the kind of the way it worked. And I found that the apprenticeship offered me, I think, what I missed and what I needed from the education.
It was another opportunity, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Different path. You enjoying it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's got good structure to it and it helps me be where I need to be, and in the future I think it's going to help me a lot.
Great. Jotham, what attracted you to do an apprenticeship?
I had to take a step back after I finished my A-levels because, as Dev actually said correctly, we're going against the grain here. A lot of people go straight into full-time education, but I thought an apprenticeship is something different, where you get to work obviously alongside studying and you get to apply what you're learning immediately in a work atmosphere, and the skills that you pick up there you can't replicate in a full-time education environment. And it also allows to progress in terms of my career and see what options are also available for me looking into the future.
And you, Ellie, you're going to start your apprenticeship pretty soon, I hear, but what's attracted you to go down that route to do an apprenticeship?
So I've worked in catering for the last 6 years. Hospitality is one of the biggest sectors of our job role, and for me to progress in my career, the supervisor in hospitality, the apprenticeship will help me do that.
And I mean, I'm really pleased with the first cohort of apprenticeships that are coming through our staff at the moment. But what's attracted you to Queen Mary?
I think it's the environment. It's a great place to be studying, and I think it's a great place to be working as well. The people around here, I mean, they're always willing to help you out. Especially as an apprentice, there's going to be things that I don't know, and everyone's always happy to help me out.
Great, and you, Jotham?
The Queen Mary environment is quite welcoming, and it's one of the most international universities. So it's a very diverse atmosphere, and even all the academics are from all over the place where I work, and it just gives you this nice vibe and atmosphere, and it keeps things different and interesting whilst you are working. And I also like the fact that I'm in an educational environment, and that was one of the most important factors in me choosing the apprenticeship here. Because the educational environment is one where you're continually developing yourself, but most apprenticeships are in the private sector. So that public sector really had a strong attraction and pull for me, and I know that from personal experience in these past 5 months that I've got loads of options ahead of me in terms of what I want to study.
That's great. And you, Ellie? I mean, you've been at Queen Mary for quite a while, but what's attracted you to Queen Mary?
Well, originally I only was meant to do the summer school, and then they wanted to keep me on, so
Great.
I've learnt on the job, and 6 years later I'm still here.
So you've learnt on the job, but you thought, well, I need some more skills as well, and you can get those through the apprenticeship?
Yes, I can.
Oh, that's great. And where do you see yourself in, say, 5 years' time?
5 years' time, I think by that point I should hopefully be finishing the degree apprenticeship, which I want to go on to next.
Jotham, you, in 5 years' time, where do you see yourself?
In 5 years' time, I hope actually to be doing a PhD within the same department, hopefully, because I already know what's going on and I've kind of developed a repertoire with the professors.
Yes.
So I'll know exactly what sort of niche environment they're going down, and I'll know exactly what I'm actually good at personally. So then I hope to take that further in my studies.
And you're looking to do that part-time, perhaps, in the future? Or full-time?
Yeah, well, I haven't given it too much thought yet, but hopefully part-time actually, because I still believe the study-work environment is something that helps you to progress further, as opposed to just going straight into full-time.
Oh, that's interesting. So you feel that the mixture of working and studying actually gives you more benefit, more advantage?
Yeah, I think it gives you an edge actually, because we're churning out graduates non-stop, but it's somebody that actually can work and apply their education simultaneously. That's somebody that you actually need in a workplace, because even once you do finish your degree after full-time education, you go back into a company and they train you again. So why not just do both things at the same time?
It's interesting. And you, Ellie, I mean, you've been here at Queen Mary for quite a while. So what's sort of attracted you to do the apprenticeship here at Queen Mary?
I would like to own my own hospitality business at some stage in my life.
That's great. Yep.
This would be the perfect opportunity to get all the skills that I need for that business.
And what advice would you give to new people, perhaps thinking about doing an apprenticeship here at Queen Mary? Jotham?
I would say you have to really think about how many different opportunities there are, because as soon as I logged onto my email server, I started to get buzzed with all sorts of different seminars that were going on, different opportunities to go abroad. And I would say really think about what you want, and also just try and get involved in different parts of the university, because you're not tied down to the one place that you are. And that's one thing that they emphasized in my interview. If you want to go and learn something else, let us know, and then just delve right into it. So I thought that is something I'll definitely highly recommend if you were to start here as a Queen Mary student or apprentice.
Any recommendations, Ellie?
Jump straight into it.
And that's brilliant, absolutely. Dev?
Yeah, I think I share the same views. It's a great place to be, and it really can expand your knowledge beyond what you think you're going to be learning, and it really changes your mind and your thoughts about what you ever thought about apprenticeships as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't mind knowing, what made you choose to be an apprentice?
What made me choose? Yeah. I have to go back a long way. So I left school at 16. I knew nothing about university at all. The school encouraged you really down an apprenticeship, a technician route. I was lucky enough at that time to get a job, and I became an apprentice draftsman with Lovell Construction. I worked for 2 years there. I did day release night school. Then I went on to work for another company, and again day release night school. But it was really key that I was going to college, getting that education, because later on in life that allowed me then to go to university. And university changed my life because that just opened up so many opportunities. What would you change about Queen Mary?
I mean, it's a pretty good place to be already. I think maybe on the apprentice side, I'd like to see more visibility with it.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I remember when I was at school, apprenticeships were never talked about. I mean, sometimes people think it was like a joke. It just wasn't there. I think awareness needs to be increased on that, and really show the public like what it can do for them.
I agree. Do you think apprenticeships has got a bad name, Jotham?
Yeah, it does have some bad connotations that come with it. And one thing I've actually read recently, an article, is in Germany, their workforce is actually 30% more efficient than the British workforce. Yes. And yeah, it's something to think about. But when I really delved into it, and the article actually said that one of the reasons is once they finish high school, they actually look at what pathway is the best for the student. And a lot of apprenticeships are on offer in Germany, and that might be one of the reasons why their workforce is more efficient. And I was wondering if you've actually heard about this, and if there's any way that we could implement that at Queen Mary.
There's an issue with what we class as productivity and the difference between the UK and the difference in Germany. But I think there's a number of factors you need to look at there, especially when you look at what we class as artificial intelligence, the way that the machine working is developed in Germany. So I don't think it's as clear cut as you were saying. But I think what's important is that we offer young people different paths in their career, which I think is so important. So when people leave school, when I left school at 16, I didn't know anything about universities. But there was a pathway for me to follow, which was an apprenticeship. But also then there was an opportunity for me to go to university later. So I think on the skills agenda, it's very important that people can follow different pathways. So at the moment you're following a pathway which suits you. Other people might follow a different pathway, which I think is very important. So any advice to me, Ellie, about what I should change at Queen Mary?
I think with the apprenticeships, I think it's very male orientated, or that's what people think. So I'd like to see a lot more women jumping into doing the apprenticeships.
I think that that's very important, and we want to have apprenticeships right across all our activities that we do here at Queen Mary, which I think is important, not just in the traditional areas of engineering where I did my apprenticeship, but actually right across all on the digital, on the catering of course, but on the management side as well, on everything we do across Queen Mary. And I think that that's so important, and it's so important to get younger generation through and give them an opportunity to carry out an apprenticeship.